What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, bringing you the first installment of our draft breakdown series, getting everyone ready for the NFL draft, enlightening you on all the college prospects coming up for the draft, just so you know when your team calls someone's name, you get to know from your boy C4's video if you're getting a stud or a dud. So we did this last year. All the videos are very, very successful. I get to engage with you guys in the comment section below. I can help you. I watched lots and lots of college football. I love draft time. So yeah, we're going to start right away, giving the top 5 players as well as their pro comparison. These are going to be best case scenario if the player pans out pro comparisons, not where they are coming in day one to the NFL. So starting at number 5 for the quarterback position, we're going with Garrett Grayson from Colorado State. Currently possesses around 3 to 4 grade, and pro comparison to him is Derek Carr. Now the pros of Garrett Grayson is that his deep ball is very, very good. His pocket presence, his sense of awareness is very well developed, and he has underrated speed, much like Derek Carr. They both ran similar offenses in college. That more air raid style. Don't call it an air raid. Derek Carr ran it at Fresno State. Garrett Grayson ran it at Colorado State. Now the pros for Garrett Grayson is he has a slow release, which he needs to work on, as well as the decision making. Those two things there clearly state that you're going to get a backup quarterback who you're going to need to mold, kind of like what Nick Foles did. I would say I'd give him 2 seasons before really trying to push him towards that starting job. Would be good to go behind, an established backup, like somewhere like Dallas or something like that, where the starting quarterback realistically has 2-3 good seasons left, and then you need to move on. Going to quarterback number 4, that is going to be Brett Hundley from UCLA. Currently has a 2nd round grade. I compare him to a Colin Kaepernick. Obviously the pros, he has speed, lots of speed, a big arm, good release, and solid vision downfield. Doesn't force a whole lot of throws, but his cons are he's not very good in the pocket. Obviously, he gets a little bit jittery, a little bit of a run-first quarterback rather than staying in the pocket and trying to really scan through all of his reads. He tends to tuck it and run. And his accuracy. His accuracy is not nearly at where it needs to be to develop. I think he has the athletic skill set to really be a mold into a good NFL player. But obviously, it's kind of almost not like his accuracy is not on the level of like a Tim Tebow or a Johnny Manziel. But he definitely needs to work on his accuracy to become a pro-level quarterback. He struggled with accuracy in college. You're going to struggle with accuracy in the pro game. So again, much like Garrett Grayson, I would say Hundley could start, but shouldn't be rushed. I'd say give him maybe a year or 2, again, to work on his accuracy. Number 3 is going to be Bryce Petty from Baylor, currently with around 3 to 4 grade. I compare him to Tony Romo. I think the pros, he has underrated speed, much like Garrett Grayson. Can extend the play if he needs to. Very quick read, very quick decision making. Obviously at Baylor, there's a lot of one read. Get it out, air raid offense type thing, which will translate to a lot of teams in the NFL. Now they're transitioning through that. That's a passing league. And his deep ball actually is very, very good. Does not force a whole lot of throws, as you can see in Baylor. Man, a lot of home run hits there. Very, very quick touchdowns and scoring. His cons, obviously, he comes from a one-read system quarterback. If you're going through, if he gets drafted to a team that's going to need him to stay in that pocket a long time, make sure, kind of almost the same areas that Brett Hundley is weak in. He needs to be able to, evaluate all his wide receivers and make the best throw possible, as opposed to kind of knowing where he's going before the snap, as well as decision making. He was, didn't throw a whole lot of interceptions, but he would throw interceptions at crucial points in the game that could cost Baylor. Even games where they try to come back, even though that huge fucking comeback against TCU. I think his decision-making needs to improve. And again, I think this is the edge of where you get Bryce Petty, Brett Hundley, Garrett Grayson. All these guys need to be backups and have time to be groomed to be that starter. So again, would not be an ideal situation for him going in day one as your potential starter, I would say. Quarterback number 2, I'm going with Jameis Winston from Florida State. Obviously currently has a round 1 grade. Him and obviously Marcus Mariota. Very debatable. I compare him to Byron Leftwich. I think he's retired now, but Byron Leftwich, remember, he used to be the Jags quarterback when the Jags were a playoff contender. Pros for Jameis Winston, very, very good reads, smart in a way from a quarterback perspective, football knowledge, pretty big arm. I would say probably the best arm in regards to strength and being able to get the ball downfield in the class. His pocket elusiveness, very, very tough to get tackled down, much like Byron Leftwich was, or if you're not super familiar with Byron Leftwich, think, Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket. The cons, off-field issues, that's why I can't have it number 1, just that alone, regardless of who you think's better between him and Marcus Mariota. off-field decision-making, way too much of a risk to involve in a top 10 pick, I think. Decision-making in general has slipped. I know he lost a lot of weapons in Florida State this year. He kind of had a safety net in Kelvin Benjamin. He left, but his decision-making was very, very poor. There's a reason why Florida State struggled to win a lot of games, and this season, especially winning a lot of close games. He was clutch, but more often than not, he put them in that hole. He's the reason why they had to come back and win those games. So I think that his decision-making needs to work. His footwork, again, is definitely a little bit lackluster. Doesn't play his feet before throwing the ball, which in turn leads to the poor decision-making and the interceptions and the turnovers. But he still is, you can't ignore his Heisman season and act like that is just a thing of the past. His Heisman season was miraculous, and if somehow he can regain that form day one, he could be a starting quarterback. But I personally think his off-field issues, and he still needs a little bit more development. I think that Marcus Mariota makes him my number 2 quarterback. With transitioning into the number 1 quarterback for this year, it's going to be Marcus Mariota from Oregon, currently with obviously he might go first overall. I compare him to Cam Newton. Obviously, very different body sizes. Cam Newton's like 6'6", 260. Mariota's more of a 6'4", 220. But the pros, very, very similar. The speed, Marcus Mariota's going to... I'm actually really interested to see if he runs the 40. Well, I assume he will. What his 40 timing to be? I think he can get a 4.45, something crazy like that. He has incredible straight line speed. His release, obviously, going from, kind of that whole gimmicky offense of Oregon. Very, very quick ball. Does not turn the ball over when he's throwing the ball. Incredible accuracy. I think his arm strength is, definitely NFL starter ready, but his accuracy is already elite. When he comes in the league, he'll probably be a top 15 quarterback in regards to throwing accuracy. His cons, he fumbles the ball a lot. He fumbles the ball way too much when he runs, especially for someone who wants to be considered a running quarterback. He's fumbled the ball 27 times during his career at Oregon. Definitely needs to work on, holding on to the ball. I don't know what. Maybe just start throwing him in with a running backs coach or something like that. And sometimes he tends to be a run-first quarterback. When the play breaks down, as opposed to standing in there and finding that last possible read, he'll just tuck the ball and run when he doesn't need to. More often than not, that's what a running quarterback will do. He'll extend the play with his legs. But a lot of times, Marcus Mariota will extend the play and won't gain much. When if he would have just waited an extra second, he would have been able to find, maybe his tight end or slot receiver or something like that. So, you always get these issues with the run first quarterback, especially when they're a rookie, because they'll panic when they're in the pocket. They're going to have the jitters. But I think Marcus Mariota will be far more, confident, and that won't be as much of a prevalent issue. That's why I have him at number 1. Very comparable to Cameron Newton of the Carolina Panthers. So there you have it, everybody. Those are the top 5 quarterbacks for the 2015 NFL Draft. As always, if you like this video, found it somewhat insightful, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to Beast Mode TV. We'll be going through every other position, trying to be as informative as possible to get you ready for this upcoming NFL Draft on April 30th. So, until next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.